Hello guys, welcome to another video. Today we're going to be teaching you a very important opening that most beginners and intermediate players should know, and that opening is called the London system. So for starters, the London system starts off by playing d4 and black responding by d5, and then you're going to be playing the move f4, which initiates the accelerated London system. The accelerated London system is a very structured and kind of feels like a force of solitude, very defensive play style. From here, there's a lot of different moves that your opponent might play. The most common one that I see is e6. And basically, your idea with the London system is that your third move is always going to be e3. No matter what your opponent plays, they could play c5, you can still play e3, they can do this, you can still play e3. Every single response for black, unless it's obvious, like something stupid like bishop h3, you can always just play h3 as your third move. So let's just continue with that. So let's say they just develop their knight normally, knight f6, and then you play your a3. So you're going to remember this structure right here. The bishop and the two pawns like this, kind of like in a little reverse pyramid. And now from here, your opponent, well, they're most likely just going to develop, say something like this, or they can play e6, which is totally fine. Something to know is, say there's an instance where they attack your bishop. This is, say, like, let's see, they play this. Say you just develop normally, and they play something like, just pretend this works, okay? Usually, when your bishop is attacked on this square, you're always going to move it back here. Whenever your bishop is attacked on f4, one of the best moves is always just to bring it back. So don't be scared to just bring it back. Obviously not in that situation though. That's a free bishop, but that's just an example. So yeah, and after your opponent develops, your next move is always going to be either c4. You can play c4 in this position. C4 is completely fine. I like c4 because it feels a lot more open. You have a lot more breathing room. If your opponent takes on c4, you simply take back with the bishop. You have a nice small advantage, and you have some more open space for your pieces. And there'll be some pretty easy development. Let's say some on knight e2 or knight f3 in castling. More traditionally, you can play c3. C3 completes the pyramid. I like to call it the London pyramid. Well, it's kind of basic. After you play e3, your next move is usually going to be playing c3. If a move doesn't, say, attack your position or it's not like a threatening move, you can play 6-3. Sorry, not 6-3, c3. And say your opponent plays bishop g7. Um, you're not always going to play knight d2. Since knight c3 is taken, your best option is knight d2. And then you're going to play knight f3 later, so say black castles. And now you're going to play knight g to f3, and there you basically have your setup. From there, your opponent, if they still play c5, it's still okay to take. There's nothing wrong with taking. Um, and yeah, from there, just play the game normally, and you're probably going to want to develop your bishop here. So that's another thing. So say they play knight c6, put the bishop here. Look at this. Complete free range of motion. It's protecting everything. Not protecting, sorry. It has a lot of open space, and it controls the diagonals. And basically, your bishop's just going to be comfortably here the whole game, just sitting here. The bishop's never getting attacked. If it does, you can always protect it with the queen. And yeah. So your opponent, say, plays rook e8. You just castle, get your rooks in the file, get your queen out, something like this. And you try to open up. You try to open up eventually. Maybe you can prepare to play something like e4 in the future and break the pyramid. And you can probably build off this pawn chain and maybe later play e5 if you get to that point. But basically from there on, say they play something like knight h5. Like I said earlier, this isn't really necessarily a good position to do it. But early game, if they attack your bishop and this seems like an okay move, always go here. Right now, it's not a good move because if takes, well, you have to take block with one of these pawns, and your king is left open on the H diagonal, so not in that situation. But yeah, say they play something normal, like develop a move like this. You're just going to want to play rook e1. Like I said earlier, supporting the e-file. E-file is very important in the London system for black and for white, so you probably should try to shift your focus there. They can play something like this. We can cut the bishop and bishop e7. And yeah, from there, you can try to push, like play e4, like I said earlier. Stockfish likes that. And yeah, from there on, it's usually going to be a more intense game further into the game. Starts a bit defensive, and then eventually you can start to lash out and break open the position. And yeah, that's everything I have to say for the London accelerated system. If you want to see another video like this or the other variations of this opening, just leave a comment down below. Thank you.